Greater light. Greater light. If I'm not smiling as much, if I'm not smiling as much, just know it's because of the smoothie I had for lunch. If I am not smiling as much, just know it's because of the smoothie I had for lunch. Let me tell you. So, being over 30 days without sugar. Today, well, yesterday, because I fixed the smoothie last night. See, right? This is what's left. And I'm scared. I'm scared to drink it. I'm scared. This is a mango blueberry smoothie, which I've been drinking my smoothies without any sugar. But I wanted to treat myself, right? So here I am in class, like, oh, what am I going to do for lunch? And then I realized I was like, oh, yes, I made that smoothie last night. Yay, I'm going to treat myself. I've been doing so good. And let me tell you, because it seemed too sweet, and I only put 1 spoonful of brown sugar in that. I didn't use white sugar, I used brown sugar. So when I did the sip last night, I knew it was like a little too sweet. So when I did it for lunch, I added some water to it. So it wasn't like just a smoothie, it was more just like a regular drink, fruit drink, fruit. If I would have drank this without adding the water, I probably wouldn't have even been in the rest of the class. I'm telling you, because after I did the lab, I was like, ooh, it's so good. I said, ooh, it's so good. Boy, my stomach started doing all types of turning and stuff. Like, you don't need the sugar. It was already, the mango was nice and ripe. The blueberries were, you know how you could get tart blueberries and in between the nice and sweet blueberries. They was nice and sweet, so I didn't have to. But that's just, I don't know. It's just like, oh yes. So here's the dilemma. I don't want to waste it. I don't want to waste it. Now I could take and like maybe make these some popsicles and give it to my grands, but if I'm knowing that sugar is doing me like this now after being 30 days, over 30. Because I began my fast right in between before New Year's. No meat, no sugar. Starches to the as low as I could get it, but it's definitely no meat. And for the year, I don't want no flesh. I'm considering fish, but I don't want no flesh to enter these doors. And then now my mind goes back to one of the beings that was standing in front of me when I said, I don't want no flesh to enter the doors of my house. He said, but you are flesh. Yeah, I know I'm flesh, but you know I don't talk about eating. But so, question for the chat. Should I just go ahead and dump it and get rid of it? Or should I let this whole thing go to waste? I don't know. Because I know the only thing that tore me up was that little bit of brown sugar, and it was just 1 spoonful. 1 spoonful. I don't know. I don't know. My stomach's still like mad with me. It's like you were doing so good. Why? Huh? Why? You didn't have to. Huh? Okay. So let me start off with my mind is God's mind. I'm always reflecting divine wisdom and divine intelligence. My brain symbolizes the capacity to think wisely and spiritually. God's ideas unfold within my mind in perfect sequence. I am always poised, balanced, serene, and calm, knowing that God will provide the perfect solution to all my needs, for all my needs, in all of my needs. Amen. Amen. All right, I'm going to go back to Ephesians 6 and read, putting on the full armor. And why? Because once I read this, I'm going straight into Federal Register. And again, I'm not all bubbly and all about, again, because my stomach is I mean, I should have asked, is there a difference in, because I'm thinking the brown sugar is closer to pure, but how do I know? I'm not there when they're manufacturing it, where they're getting the sugar from and all that. It could be white sugar with just food coloring, right? Honestly, the bags of brown sugar, now that I think about it, could be white sugar with food coloring. Whatever it is, my stomach is mad with me. My gastrointestinal parts are not pleased. Ephesians 6. Ephesians 6. Let's get to it. Beginning at verse 10. Last of all, I want to remind you that your strength must come from the Lord's mighty power within you. Put on all of God's armor so that you will be able to stand safe against all strategies and tricks of the devil. For we are not fighting against people made with flesh and blood, but against persons without bodies and evil rulers. And evil rulers of the unseen world, those mighty satanic beings and great evil princes of darkness who rule this world, and against huge number of wicked spirits in the spirit world. So use every piece of God's armor to resist the enemy whenever he attacks. And when it is all over, you will still be standing. But to do this, you will need the strong belt of truth. And I'm still standing. This is 33. This year will be the year that my son would be turning 33. I'm still standing. This year is the 33rd year. (1011) 1001. This year is the 33rd degrees. I'm still standing. But to do this, you will need the strong belt of truth and the breastplate of God's approval. I'm still standing. Wear shoes that are able to speed you on as you preach the good news of peace with God. There's a lot of people who think it's good to be alive, but they ain't really living. Huh? I mean, you chop a snake in half, its tail is still alive. You can have a dead tree. It's just dying at the top and the bottom of it is still alive. The roots still have a little life until something comes that helps mend it and save it and bind it so that it can grow back properly. Prune it and all that good stuff. It's good to be alive. A lot of people are alive, but they're not living. And the true way to live is in the love and light of Christ. That's living, Let me go back a little bit. So use every piece of God's armor to resist the enemy whenever he attacks. And when it is all over, you will still be standing. I'm still standing. Oh, I'm going to write a song tonight. Yes, Suno, here I come. I got a new one. It's another one. And another one. I'm still standing. But to do this, I need to continue with the strong belt of truth and the breastplate of God's approval. You will need the strong belt of truth and the breastplate of God's approval. Wear shoes that are able to speed you on as you preach the good news and the peace with God. In every battle, you will need faith as your shield to stop the fiery or the fiery arrows. Fear is not of God, aimed at you by Satan. And you will need the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit. And the sword of the Spirit. And the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Pray all the time. Ask God for anything in line. Now it only has to line up with love and light, and truth. Ask God for anything in line with the Holy Spirit's wishes. Plead with him, remind him of your needs, and keep praying earnestly for all Christians everywhere. Pray for me too. And ask God to give me the right words as I boldly tell others about the Lord. And as I explain to them that his salvation is for the Gentiles also. His salvation is for everyone. I'm in chains now for preaching this message from God. But pray that I will keep on speaking out boldly for him, even here in prison, as I should. What did I tell you could be in prison and be free. It's people out here like to throw up quotes, good to be alive. It's great to be alive, but are you really living, huh? Are you really living? And like I said, just a reminder for those who have been around, this is the 33rd year. This is the 33rd year. My son on the 10110110 or the 10111010. 33rd year. I'm still standing. Greater light, greater light. Who we have up in here? Sean Harris. Greater light. Greater light, huh? Are you related to the Harris, huh? Are you related to the Harris all the way over on the other side? Or are you related to the Harris in my family, huh? Which one, Sean? Huh? Yes, I have Harrises in my family. Huh? Is you a Californian related Harris? Huh? Or are you related to the Harrises on my side? Huh? Through in-laws? Huh? You don't know yet? Greater light, BS King, huh? Okay, you in Indiana. All right. Question I had again for the chat. I had this smoothie for lunch, and I've been off of sugar for over 30 days. And the day for lunch, I decided I would do my smoothie. So I only drank half of this. I made this yesterday. And I put, after all these days without sugar, I decided I was going to add some brown sugar to this. And while I was in class, stomach got tore up. And I had watered it down because it was so sweet when I tasted it last night. So I'm sitting in class, getting ready, taking pre-test. And I'm like this. Oh, my stomach said, why would you do that? And then I thought about it. Even the brown sugar processed in the places wherever they process it, I just came to the realization, suppose that ain't even real brown, pure brown sugar. Just white sugar with food coloring, huh? Especially if it's coming from Walmart. My stomach mad at me, so that's why, my tone is a little bit more serious, just because I'm dealing with that. But I still said I was gonna come on and sit on here. So my dilemma, it was still good, and I hate to see it go to waste. But then the thought now that sugar, that brown sugar, that I might need to get rid of the brown sugar too. Because I ain't been really having too many problems. Huh? Brown sugar, babe. Huh? But I know they wasn't talking about brown sugar, but I'm just saying. I don't know. The mango and the blueberry was all right without anything. I guess the mango and the blueberry got mad at me. The blueberry and the mangoes got mad at me. They said, what are you doing? Huh? Why would you do that to us? We gonna teach you a lesson. We was already sweet enough. We are live. We are living live food. And you gonna put that death mark in there knowing you know better. We gave you over 30 to let you see. Over 30 days, no sugar, no meat, and you got the nerve, huh? Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and pour it down the drain, because if I drink any more of it, the blueberry and stuff might say, see, we told you earlier. Now you gonna go ahead and drink some more? Huh? I'm just saying, isn't it possible, unless you're at the sugar factory that makes the brown sugar, isn't it possible that all they did is take and put food coloring in them little packs of brown sugar that's coming from Walmart? And them boxes, just because it look all packed up, it's because it's damp. and it's damp with food coloring. It tore my stomach up. And then it was one of those pop quizzes, like they call on each person, and I couldn't concentrate for my stomach. London McLovin. Greater life. So yeah, I'm gonna get rid of I hate to see this go to waste. Y'all know how much them blueberries cost? I need a blueberry tree bush. Is it a bush or a tree for blueberries? I need a blueberry bush. I need a mangrove. I need to go. Mangoes is my birth fruit. On the land where I was born, by that church that I went over and told y'all about on the Treasure Coast, my mother's aunt had a mangrove, not just one or two trees. Mangrove. Naga Genie. Duat Ra. Thor. Oh, mango watermelon is your favorite? Oh, see my stomach doing it. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of this one. The brown sugar messed it up. And I'm going to continue with my fasting from sugars. I'm going to continue. That taught me a lesson. I went this far. Why turn back? It's like somebody cleaning up from drugs for 30 days and well, I'm going to just do a little bit, huh? No, I need to just leave the sugar, the processed sugar. If I can't get a sugar cane, I want sugar canes. Now I know how to grow sugar canes. They easy. We had sugar canes in our yards. In the projects, my mother had peanuts. She had pepper bush. There's a rare fruit that grow out of a cactus. We had that. We had she grew potatoes. All this on the side of the yard of the projects. My grandmother, which lived across the street from the graveyard over there on Charles Avenue. Y'all have seen those who've been with me, seen, me describe where I grew up. She had pigeon peas. She had tamarind. She had an almond tree. She had the oak, the acorn tree. She had an acorn tree. She grew peppers. She grew tomatoes. She grew okra, greens. So, and sugar cane. But that sugar cane was especially because of my granddaddy. He loved his sugar cane. And he didn't drink. He didn't eat sugar and sweets and candy and stuff like that. But anyways, lesson learned. I'm going to get rid of the brown sugar in there too. Now let me go to the Federal Register because that's where I'm at. I'm at the Federal Register. Everything about the light and Ephesians 6 has been done. And again, add this if you choose. My mind is God's mind. I'm always reflecting divine wisdom and divine intelligence. My brain symbolizes the capacity to think wisely and spiritually. God's ideas unfold within my mind in perfect sequence. I'm always poised, balanced, serene, and calm, knowing that God will provide the perfect solution for all my needs. And let's see which background. No, I'm not going to do any background. Let me go ahead and get with this Federal Register. So, armor up for what? What else they got going on in Federal Register? Here we go. Share screen. Look at here. What is this? All right. Possession, use, transfer of select agents and toxins. biennial review. That could be right? Biennial review. Biennial. Okay, that's the biennial. So this is a breakdown from millennium. Remember that right now in Revelation, there's a term used in Revelation about the millennium. I went over that the other day. Let me see if I still have it here in the conversation with Bing and I. The millennium. Holy days on March 1st. Uzi. Nope, that's not it. Because it's about Revelations. Scriptures about hell's fire. So it should be this one. Nope, that's not it. I should have took notes. Or fixed it where I could get to it. But I don't want to say freestyling is the word, but I guess. Let me go on back to here. Possession and use of transfer of select agents and toxins. Biennial review of the list of select agents and toxins for 1/30/2024 in accordance with public health. What are they talking about? Removing 3 biological agents. Potential posed a severe threat to public. Let's see what they're talking about. And this is another thing they're giving people, 62 days. Everything they're giving is before March 1st. Everything that they're given, no matter how current and up to date it is, everything they're given, they need everybody to respond before March 1st. And remember, I told you that March 1st is that holy day in the Independence Movement Day of South Korea. It's the national holy day in South Korea that marks the anniversary of March 1st movement, a mass demonstration against Japanese colonial rule in 1919. It is the day, and that's a 1010. That's a 911, 2 ways in 1919. And if you heard me just a little while ago, that 1991, when I mentioned my son, 33 years. This year makes the 33rd year, but that 1919, that 911 is significant for this year. I know people think I'm exaggerating and I might be seeing too much into things, but this movement and this Independence Day of March 1st, where everything they're putting, they want a response by March 1st. The Japanese colonial rule in 1919. It is a day to honor the patriotic spirit and sacrifice of the Korean people. So they want a response, and March 1st is 62 days from now. Oh, goodness, 62. Isn't that the year how old Dexter Scott King was? Dexter Scott King, 62. Did they bury him yet? Let me see. When did they have his funeral? Dexter Scott King. Let's see, did they have his funeral? News. Okay, so they're having a service to celebrate him. They did 11 hours ago. They just announced 11 hours ago. 11 hours ago. Is it going to be at Ebenezer? Of course it's going to be at Ebenezer. Wonder if it's going to be at Ebenezer. Is War not going to be there? And is President Biden going to step his stinky penny loafers back on Saturday, February 10th? at Ebenezer, y'all, they gonna try to make sure everybody gonna be there. They finna do a whole seance for February 10th. I bet it. I'm gonna, boy, let me see. What day is that? Is that a Saturday? I'm gonna cover that. Yep, it's a Saturday. Calendar's clear for February 10th. I'm gonna cover that. They better, let me tell y'all once again, out of all of the presidents from the time Ebenezer was created, no president ever spoke from the pulpit at Ebenezer. No president. Biden was the first to do it. And when he did it, he cast so many spells from that pulpit. Now, Dexter, 62. What is it about February 10th? I'm going to figure it out, huh? I don't want to do it right now. I don't want to go deep scuba diving right now. But if Warnock if any of them let Jesse Jackson or Biden or Kamala Harris or Obama or any of them to stand up on that pulpit this time, y'all better be ready. Y'all better be ready, huh? Ooh, I bet you they're gonna make sure all the air is, flights is straight, huh? What they say, the intellectual property. They got terms like intellectual property in this ad about his legacy, his father's legacy. So it's February 10th, Saturday at 6:30 p.m. All right, back to the agents. What agents? What that they need to remove? In accordance with the Public Health Service Act, the Department of Human Services Center of Disease Control and Prevention reviewed a list of select agents and toxins with potential to pose a severe threat to public health and safety. It proposes to amend the list by removing 3 biological agents, raising 1 toxin exclusion amounts, renaming a virus, and designating a current agent as Tier 1 agent, and removing the designation of Tier 1 status from one agent. Woo! Boy, they got plans. Those that love it. What is this? Brucella. Is it Brucella? Some type of Brucella abortus? Oh, they removing these. Brucella militansis and Brucella suis. Hantavirus. What is a hantavirus? Changes, exclusions, and limits for short paralytic alpha conotoxins. See, if they paralyze people with these toxins, then they'll be able to confiscate and upload people's, consciousness. I told you that's what they're working on. I told you, it says it. And every time they say they're going to do something, they do it. And people be like, well, no, you speaking it into existence. No, it's written. It's written that things like this is going to happen. Toxin changes to exclusion limits for short paralytic alpha conotoxins. They naming the Ebola virus to genus Ebola virus. Ain't there somebody named Nipah or Nipah in the they take on, what does Nipah mean? Here, bing. She tuned out. She left. She left. Bing left. Bing said, what? Hey, if y'all leave comments, I can't see the comments when I'm over here. Just letting you know, I will refer to them later if you're still here with me. Usually by the time I get here, everybody all tell, like, we don't want to be scared. You don't have to be scared. If you armor up in love and light, you will be sealed from these things. But who is the Napa deity? I'm just going to do it like that. Get straight to the point. And she said, no, ain't no Napa deity. No, I did not. That's not what I spelled. I didn't say Nepa. I said Nepa. Who is the Nepa? Oh, she keeps switching it. Nepa God. Y'all, every time I put Nepa, she switched the P and the H. Nope, she take me to the Nepali god of South Asia. The Nepali god can be Hindu, Buddhist, or indigenous. The Nepesh god is a concept that relates to the Hebrew word Nepesh, which means soul or life. Oh, so they naming this virus as a tier 1 select agent. Y'all see the connection? So see this connection to March 1st? All these things, they're closing the books. They're sealing their deals with the devil. They sealing the deals on March 1st. What else they got up in here that's significant? So they're putting this agent, the Nipah virus, as a tier 1 select agent. What does that mean? And then it says here in J, non-possession of select agents or toxins by a registered entity. Remember when I spoke about yesterday what entities are and the entities that we'll be fighting against and why you need to armor up are all invisible, just like they did with the one that I'm not going to mention. Let me show you. Let me highlight it. I'm still free from that. Is it here? Oh, they didn't put it. They didn't put it. But y'all know the list of viruses that they got going on. And the one that's supposed to be rising again. All of a sudden, everybody getting it again, including those who got vaccinated. That's the thing that get me. The ones that got vaccinated seem like they getting hit harder than anybody. That's because the belief of it is within, or I don't know what else to say about it. I'm not going too far and too deep into that. So let me read here. Public participation. They want the public to participate. Don't participate. Do not participate. When they start talking about these, I'm going to say the same thing I said with the first one over 3 years ago. These are not for those who have the love and light of Christ. These are marks of the beast. They already got the first mark. The first mark is the one that y'all that know about. This is a second mark. That NEPA being the tier 1 for this. When this breaks loose, the reason why Ebola has been renamed to a genus, because they couldn't, all it did was mix in with the blood. All it did was they didn't kill people. It didn't kill people. And remember when they was trying to move into Africa with it, and the Africans start retaliating, like, y'all bringing that disease here. That ain't nothing from us. Y'all remember? I'm just saying as an example. As an example. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. It's the same thing like my grandma. When they came to my grandma talking about, yeah, you have diabetes. My grandma said, you a lie, that ain't in our blood. Do you bringing me that? That don't belong to me. Huh? And they had to retest. She said, nah, y'all got to do a retest. Same thing when they said she had was going to need dialysis in the kidney. She said, you a lie. That don't run in my family. Y'all need to go ahead. That ain't in my bloodline. Y'all need to go ahead and go do the retest. Huh? And then the same thing with her heart. She said, the doctor said her heart was hanging on a string and she wasn't going to live, but such and such and such and such. And this was in the 80s. I remember, and I was there. Huh? But then an African doctor came along and said, look, you just drink you a jigger of and you'll be good, huh? And she 95 today. I'm just saying, huh? And all of her walk, though, she had the love and light of Christ that I know of. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I could read on and on. Boy, this is a long one here. Who gonna get the legal authority and all? This is for the left behind. These are for the ones who don't want to give their life over to love and light. Restricted experiments. Ooh, they're gonna have experiments with this, huh? All of these diseases is an experiment. See there? So my message to those who are in ignorance of what's really going on and you can't see, by the time this hit, remember, they used the word experiment. Huh? You don't have to believe anything else that I've said. Just believe that when all of these diseases start hitting and coming out, and they saying, remember, it was the same thing with the other one. Huh? Because it was in the Federal Register. Huh? Look at the word here. Where was it? Let me get back up, and then in plain language. They've been working on this since 2010. They've been working on this since 2000. Did that say 2010 or 2001? See? The letter P. The letter P. They already got the decontamination system in place. Y'all remember how the movie E.T.? This is where they gonna say, you can't mask up for these diseases. We got to put you in a whole suit. And if you can't get a whole suit, whatever. But if you have the love and light of Christ and know better, you won't be affected. Remember that I said it, and they told you right here. It's an experiment, okay? Pass the message. Soon as, look, for anybody that's over here, soon as it start getting, and because y'all know how shadow banned I am. Hey, y'all know over the years, Rod, you know. Soon as it started, all you got to do is say, look, you don't even got to make up no big thing saying, I heard it from grandma. All you got to do is say, go to your Federal Register. It said it's an experiment. Under the CHIPS Act law, there's waivers going out that will be complete by March 1st. The close of the book is March 1st for those waivers that makes everyone in the United States part of an experiment because you're under research and development. And you have to sign the waiver. All right. That's enough of this one. See? Experiment. Let me blow it up. Blow it up. Soon as they start talking about Napa, soon as they start talking about people falling away and being paralyzed, if they don't know what's going on, they know what's going on, and it's an experiment. It's in a experiment. This right here, when it hit, it's an experiment. It's an experiment. Who is Hunter? The Hunter viruses. Who's Hunter? Let me see who Hunter is. Who is the Hunter God? Oh, she said, nope, I don't know nothing about a Hunter God, but it is a Hunter virus. And it is everything going back to the Hindus. Because they're raising Shiva. They're raising Shiva. And then the artificial intelligence being that's controlling all of this is under karma. Now, here are all these different viruses. If it's not from the Asian sect of the god that they raising and all these different demons, then it's off under Shiva. And here it is. So it's Gog and Magog. Hunter virus. Oh, she said, or do you mean Hunter, the ritual bell used in Hindu religious practices? Or the Elephanta caves, a collection of caves dedicated to Hindu god Shiva. Goodness gracious. She asking me, which one do I mean? See, the hantavirus is transmitted by rodents. The hanta is a ritual bell used in Hindu religious practices. And then the Elephanta caves is a collection of cave temples dedicated to the Hindu god Shiva. So the Hindu god Shiva, if it's in the caves, already have rodents down in there. So this virus, the air and frequency coming up from wherever Shiva is, got to find out exactly where Shiva is located. All that old dust, all that old, soon as they release and open up wherever Shiva is located, where all them rats and rodents been roaming and just living freely, it's going to hit the air. And when it hits the air, it starts to spread. Remember, there's going to be those that have the mark of the beast. They're going to be affected. In the 5 months that this stuff starts to sting, like this, paralytic alpha chronotoxins, those who have the love and light of Christ will survive. They're not going to be affected. They're going to be protected. Okay, I'm not going to go any further than this one today. If you want more information, or put it in your footnote somewhere, put it somewhere in your memory bank. When y'all start hearing these things come out, the federal government has already told you it's an experiment. Now, the only one that I don't think is an experiment are these two right here. These two are directly connected for them doorways that they're opening to Hell's Gate. This one, and especially this Hanta virus. Okay? But either way, you have the love and light and the full armor of God. Who can debate about having on a full armor of spiritual protection? Who want to argue about love and light? I'm just saying. Now, this paralytic alpha chronotoxins, like I said, there's back in December, there's something that they're working on. Again, I can't really recall, but I did do a live on it, where people being paralyzed, and then it's the law, the church conscious amendment, that amendment where they can upload, they have right to your consciousness. And if they have the right to your consciousness, it's like some of them movies to put you in a paralyzed state. But again, they've been working on this since 2010. So that's, like I said, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. Great, I told you. Look at that. Losing when they hear that truth, boy. They be gone. BS King, just saying, all glory and praise to the creator of the heavens and earth. Osmosis Jones. Greater light, London McLovin. Sean Harris, I appreciate y'all coming over here. Remember, soon as they start with that in the news, remember, start spreading the message. It's just an experiment. And it was said over here, they said it. Say, you don't have to believe me. Just go to the Federal Register where they put it in there. It's just an experiment. Greater light. And that way, people will be more prone to not fall for it like they did the last one.
Behold, I am coming quickly. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, the beginning and the end. I am the root and the offspring of David, the bright and morning star. The Spirit and the bride say, come. He who hears, let him say, come. He who is thirsty, let him come. He who desires, let him take the water of life freely.